happen, Sam. Pre-show. Nor me applying, is it Blistex? It is. Yeah.
A new sponsor.
Just going after sponsors. That's exactly right.
Mint.
Medicated Mint, in case you were wondering. Thank you. Welcome back to Kevin Pollak's Chat Show. I am, as always... Jamie was looking over my shoulder the other day and said, I can tell you're not buffering, the cup's moving.
That was a new level of buffering.
It was a new level because for the first time we had the wheel on
We
the
had the
screen.
wheel.
We had the wheel
So
on the
people
screen.
really did a double take.
Mm-hmm.
It's like when Andy Kaufman wanted to get that special on where he messed with the vertical hold on the picture.
Yes.
And they wouldn't let him get it on.
Right.
That's what you're doing. You are groundbreaking.
That's scary.
Was it the horizontal hold? I don't know.
There's an app for that now. So.
There you go.
An app for the buffering or the horizontal hold?
The horizontal hold.
Oh, nice.
Didn't they do that in Outer Limits?
Yes. We've taken control of your... Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. It's a casual Wednesday here on a pre-tape, on one of those rare pre-tapes, because you may have heard...
I dressed like an adult.
You did... What?
I'm not casual.
Are you yelling at us for not?
Appropriately.
Everyone's dressed like an adult.
Except our guest who came in dressed wearing a giant fairy costume.
Well, but we talked her out of it. We coaxed her into adult clothing. The fairy costume, I thought, was a tip of the hat to another show.
I think she was celebrating gay marriage in New York.
Yes. What?
I don't know.
There's a thing called Carmageddon. You probably heard about it, read about it. And we had decided to avoid it this lovely weekend. And that's thus the pre-taping, on top of which our guest was only available if we because she's working non-stop, which is very exciting. And we'll talk about it in about 72 minutes. Just wanted to scare her. We got a 3 degrees. You know, we used to do a thing on the show, 3 degrees of Kevin.
I sure do.
Yeah. And for whatever reason, maybe we didn't design the correct graphic. We stopped.
It's all about a graphic.
It really is.
If you have a graphic and a
we got
jingle,
nothing. We got nothing.
It ain't worth
Forget it.
doing. But we had one come in from Corden19, because that's a handle. And he offered up, not only did he write Richard Dean Anderson, he followed it with, did I win? Like overly confident.
Is he kidding?
I know, that's what I said. It's called IMDb. Do a little research, you
My
idiot.
God.
I found I'm one handshake away from Dick Dean.
And that handshake is?
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh.
Yeah, he did one scene on The Few Good Jews.
And what did he work with the Dean on?
MacGyver. I mean, it's so easy.
Wait a second. MacGyver the movie?
No.
TV doesn't count.
I thought TV counts.
What do you mean it doesn't count?
It counts.
How does the premise is, have you worked with this person in
I
show
don't know.
business?
I'm gonna have to let the viewers.
It's not 6 Degrees of Film with Kevin Bacon.
It actually is.
No, it isn't. What are you talking about?
Read any rules, any set of rules.
I did find another movie that, like something like The Killer Inside My Head, some ridiculous film.
There were
Was
many
that a
of those.
thing?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that Richard D. Anderson did, and in that film was Joey Pants. So I'm one handshake away in the film world, thanks to Joey Pants.
That's the one you're going to want to go with.
All right.
Otherwise, I'm telling you, the internet will come down hard on you, man.
Come get me, bitches, because I've got Joey Pants.
Yeah.
And I'm making.
In your Joey Pants.
Either way, Cordon 19, as we say in 3 Degrees of Kevin Pollak, suck it. More importantly, I buried the lead. I can't believe I buried the lead. Happy birthday to you. Holden and Toon, born today on pre-tape day. This is airing later. Holden and Toon, Shauna and Jason, are in the hospital now. It only happened a couple of hours ago. Young Holden weighed in at 7 pounds, 4 ounces, this future left-hander out of Los Angeles. Played in A. Paul in the minors a couple of years. Was born today. Very exciting.
That is very exciting.
Yeah.
Is he? So does Antoon become our first guest to have a child post-show? Or no, I guess Neil Patrick Harris?
Well, Neil Patrick Harris showed up with twins in his pocket.
Is that how it worked?
But we've definitely got Colin Hanks.
Yeah. I take it back then. So we've had plenty of guests who become
horrible
parents.
statistic that you brought up.
We're going to get It's the baseball.
I like that you went somewhere
Statistic.
and thought this is a moment, because it wasn't a moment in time enough
No.
that Holden was born today.
No.
You needed to attach some sort of chat show
Absolutely.
stat.
Everything is connected to the chat show.
Sammy, what are you doing for Carmageddon?
Not leaving my home.
Staying in the valley?
Damn straight.
He said he may walk to a movie.
Really?
I may
That's
walk
a great
to the,
idea.
walk to the arc light.
That's what he said.
Fantastic.
Why not?
And if someone wanted to meet you there?
Not going to happen.
You got a film picked out?
No.
Jamie, you'll be poolside?
Yes, in
Okay.
Phoenix.
Poolside in Phoenix. Name of my
Scottsdale, I think,
third
technically.
album. The what?
Scottsdale, I think, technically, if you want to get technical.
I think we do. Don't mention the name of the hotel, please.
The Westin, downtown.
That's right. Upcoming shows. Should you be watching us on the iTunes or listening from around the world? Michael McKean next Sunday, John Landis the Sunday after that, Phil Hendried. I beg of you, if you're not familiar with that name instantly, to do a little research. This guy's a radio icon who did probably the most brilliant thing on radio I've ever seen in my, heard, as it were, in my life. For years on LA radio, and then now on the interwebs, and has a ridiculous following. So forgive those of you who know who I'm talking about. Forgive me for going on about this, but school yourself a little. He is a comedic genius. I'm just going to say it, and I'm thrilled to death. Sugar Ray Leonard after that, James L. Brooks and Ivan Reitman in September, the Director's Month. More to be coming to you. Goran Hatz, thanks for the chapeau. Peter Pitt, although not feeding us today, has been looking after us a little bit. And I wanted to shout out a little bit for them. So thank you for that. Again, Holden Antoon, born today. And Rocco Supreme.
Oh, yes, my friend Rocco.
Friend
But that's
Rocco.
all I was going to talk about.
Yes, you raised your hand very politely. What do you
No,
have
I
for
was
us?
saying, remember a while back, whenever we had the contest for, I don't know if it was so much a contest, but I lost my keys and I asked people to
Yes.
send me keychains.
Yes.
Well, even though I have since found my keys, because this was like 6 months ago, Lady Diode, but she did send me a keychain, and I wanted to give her a shout out, Lady Diode, who is one of our fans.
Yes.
And she sent me from her hometown of Baltimore. It's got a little crab on it.
Baltimore.
And it's a locket, and when you open it, it is.
Wait for it.
Wait for it.
It's worth it.
An Arby's logo, because I love Arby's. And I also would have accepted a photo of 1980s Harold Ramis in the locket. But Arby's is a good.
It's
call.
a good second best.
I like it.
Well, maybe she sent the Arby's because she cares about me too. Because the Ramus is not.
You were just bashing Arby's before the show started. I don't want to hear it.
I don't know if choosing Bay Cities for lunch over Arby's is bashing.
No.
Not technically.
You said that they were frozen potato discs. my precious potato cakes.
Well, there goes our sponsor.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I did in fact say that I love their frozen potato triangles.
No, you said they were garbage.
But the difference is you said that off air.
Yes. Yes, that is the difference, Sam. Put together one more stat and you're out of here.
It's the Elias Sports Bureau. That's what I was thinking of. I'm sure they're keeping track of all this stuff for us.
I'm going to go to the Ask Kevin next. Yeah, sure, why not? Ask Kevin. There's that wonderful graphic. Forgive me for speaking over it. If you want to write to us and have your damn emails answered right here on the show, write to contact at kevinpollakschatShow.com. That's contact at kevinpollakschatShow.com. This one comes from Andy Fleming. Hey, Andy. Hi. Stupid question for an intelligent Jew. IntelliJew? Andy, you've already outdone yourself, and we're only 2 words into the damn email. Do you warn your guests of the buffering gig? Sure, he meant to write gag. Or do you prefer to have them surprised, sitting there thinking, well, this is it. Old Capo is finally having a stroke. Thanks.
Do you know how many buffering gigs I've been offered in the last year, by the way? You can't do them all. You want to.
You can't do them all.
But you can't do them
Yeah,
all.
I'm proud of you for saying no to some.
You have to.
Yeah.
But then he won't watch those ones that he said no to.
I'll watch them. No, I will watch any project I say no to. It's the projects that say no to me I cannot support.
And Mad Men?
I never read for it. I love every episode.
Oh, fantastic.
Love every episode.
Lucky them and you. Anyways, there's your answer. Sam does not pass on buffering gigs. No, I've never told a guest, and it's a damn good question because it probably has gone through some of their minds. Usually, it's a fairly quick giggle, as opposed to concern, because, as Jamie pointed out, the cup shakes. Not to be confused with cup check. This one from Richard Deming. Why isn't Kevin Pollak, Littlest Suspect, available on Netflix? Damn good question. Roll back. What was that person's name? Scroll back there, Dr. Chen. Using the teleprompter. Thank you. Richard Deming. Richard Deming, fine question. Why isn't Kevin Pollak's Littlest Suspect? That would be the name of my 1-hour stand-up comedy special, a DVD copy of which our guest will receive in her gift bag. Just want a little excitement.
Is it because they aren't giving Gabriel Byrne royalties on it?
Yes. Yeah. Also, there was a problem with Stephen Baldwin's book, The Unusual Suspect, where he talks about his relationship with Jesus, writing on the back of the 1995 motion picture that he is brilliant in, and proof positive
best work.
that he had it in him. So the answer is write your local Netflix congressman, I think, because they clearly need to change
Anthony Weiner
this.
still? Is it Anthony Weiner?
It is Anthony Weiner. No.
No, it's not your local Netflix congressman.
No.
Oh, sorry.
It's Steve Weiner. There's no excuse really, because they've been a sponsor on this show.
Yeah.
And let's get a little campaign going. What do you say, Fleming? You son of a bitch. This last one from Joe of Morton. Nope. Joe of Morton Grove, Illinois. That probably is it.
No, Joe of Morton, St. Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah, Joe of Morton was part of Game of Thrones, wasn't he? Dear Joe of Morton.
What shall we do with this Joe of Morton, miracle wonder man, hero of fools? Now we got to pay for the rights to Jesus Christ.
Nice, Jamie. That's $4,700 that's coming out of your hide.
I owe Tim Rice money.
Joe of Morton writes, Dear Kevin, your earlier acknowledgement that podcast listeners' needs vary from those of KPCS viewers encouraged me to raise the following issues. You're not buffering, and this gag is as effective in text as it is in audio form. At times, you and Sam sound similar, especially in instances of great levity. I find this disorienting. For the riveting Chickless episode, holy shit, Sam was not in studio, and I found it to be a glorious reprieve.
What the fuck? Why would you read that on the air?
Only because there was no question whom I was hearing at all times. Now then, I know all Jews don't sound alike, and I don't mean to suggest you're indistinguishable from one another in context, but neither do you have the clear distinctions of Johnny and Ed, who I need not remind you were never podcasted. What? This can be frustrating to the listener, especially while running, rock climbing, or piloting a skiff.
What is this, Sebastian?
All right.
Wait, he follows that nicely. Or, so I would assume, as I have never done any of these things. You are the master of voices, and I'm sure you could alter your laugh to distinguish it from Sam's, but you are Chat Show. Your name's in the title, and you shouldn't have to change anything. So, what I'm asking Kevin is to ask Sam to change the character of his laugh so it's not so confusing. Perhaps he could go up an octave, or throw in a catchword like Ed's yes. Or you could pot him down to a more peanut gallery level. But not so much that we lose the sprite's interjection. Jesus.
This is a fucking novel.
It's worse. It's a damning novel.
What a delightful sprite.
May I?
Yes.
May I address Joe of Morton?
Let me finish.
There's really still more?
Yes.
Holy shit.
While I have your attention, I would also point out that you frequently use the word fantastic, but often it comes out as fantastic, and you sound a little affected. See, he's coming after me too. Thank you for your attention to these matters. I will now go fuck myself. Your loyal listener, Joe. It comes.
I'm just glad he didn't bring me up.
Well, you're glad.
All right, Joe
I
of
would have
Morton.
needed therapy, and I would have charged him.
Sammy,
First off,
have at it.
my anti-Semitic friend. Go fuck yourself. Clean the wax out of your ears.
Yeah.
And go fuck yourself again.
In the air. Yeah. Actually, he said nothing about me, so I don't really care.
If it's so hard for you to figure out who's speaking, why don't you sit down and download the video version of our podcast, you simp? It's in the box right next to the audio version. Take the 90 minutes, watch the episodes. Or you know what? Skip the opening portion. I don't give a shit if you listen to what I have to say or not. And if my laugh is that confusing to you, well, then I guess Jane Campion will have to stop appearing on the show so that I can stop laughing at her hilarity. Also, go fuck yourself. Back to you, Kevin.
Nicely done, Sammy.
Thank you.
And there you have it. Wrapped up Ask Kevin. That beautifully finished with Ask Sam. If you have questions for any of our crew, be it Kenny Chen, Mike Rotman, Josh Negrin, Jason McIntyre, Emily Goodwin, please write to contact@kevinpollakschatShow.com. Yes, I left out Jamie because if you write to her, I will never hear the end of it.
Only if it's negative.
Yeah, write positive things till you pass out, for God's sakes, please, and more keychains. And now it's time for the Larry King game, and then we're 17 minutes away from our guest. This one comes from Aaron Carr. Aaron Carr writes to us actually from the U.S. Navy carrier, USS George H.W. Bush. We're very excited to hear from those in service, as always. Greetings all, he says. Happy 4th of July. I am writing from the USS George H.W. Bush out here in the middle of nowhere. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to keep up with the podcast as our internet connection is worse than dial-up. Maybe the next time we pull into port, I will be able to. I would really like to thank Kevin, everyone there for the amazing podcast. You too, Sam.
Oh,
keep up the great work.
Thanks for including me in that.
I'll keep watching, very respectfully, Aaron Carr. And now Aaron's Larry King game, for which we're sending a T-shirt of his size to said ship, goes a little something like this. When I was a kid, back in the Stone Age, we used to eat a lot of weeds. Now that I'm a man of an old age and getting glaucoma, I'm getting stoned on a lot of weed. Fernley, Nevada, you're up. Nicely done, Aaron Carr.
Delicious play on words there.
Right? He danced along the words. Thank you, and please tell everyone within eye and earshot that I thank you all for your service. And write to us again if you want to submit a Larry King game to possibly win a damn T-shirt. Write to us at contact@kevinpollakschatShow.com, or you can send in a video to the website. We've got a place where you can send in and load up a damn video of yourself doing one. How about that? We'll send you a maybe I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to go T-shirt and that's it. Just a T-shirt.
Just a T-shirt.
Yeah, I should really be careful.
Yeah.
Give away the. All right. It is time. I've put it off as long as I possibly can. We have, in fact, Jamie and I painfully fought and sought to bring a female cast member from one of our favorite shows, in that case, Mad Men. We've had 17 of the men sit at this desk. All right, only 7, but still, most of them. And she also co-stars on the NBC hit Community. And we've had only Joel McHale from that show, now that I think of it. So no women from either show. The hell? Unbelievably thrilled, and please welcome Alison. Hello.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you for sitting through all of that.
Oh, God.
Right?
I took a little nap.
That's the correct response, by the way. Yeah, any other response would not be accepted.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Welcome. This is going out not so live on Sunday during Carmageddon. What are your plans for the fabulous Carmageddon?
Oh, I'm going to be shooting.
Hello.
I know. I'm a little worried.
What part of town?
I don't know. I have to. I'm hoping it's like Echo Park area.
You want to stay east?
Some stuff up. Yeah, I think east is key.
Yeah.
I'm an East Side girl at heart, anyway.
Right.
So
raised in the Pasadena, were you not?
South Pasadena.
Hello.
It's actually its own city.
Is it?
It is. We have our own mayor.
You have a separate mayor from, but is the other Pasadena called North Pasadena?
It's just called Pasadena.
Yeah.
We're just like its little brother.
You broke off.
Yeah.
Like South America.
Yeah.
Virginia, West Virginia.
Virginia, West Virginia.
Yeah, maybe more like that.
Mm-hmm. America, South America.
Yeah.
Does it work for you?
It works for me. I'll take it. This is what we're like there.
America, North America. No, that definitely doesn't work. How did we get included in both of those? The Canadians must have a problem with that.
Wow.
And that's all I had for you. But thank you.
Thanks. I mean,
So
let's talk
much.
more about
It was
Canadians
easy.
because
First of all, congratulations. It's been a while. But to be featured in the Esquire magazine sidebar of Funny Jokes from Beautiful Women, that must have been a nice thing,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
How does that call come in, by the way?
It's like, hey, no, actually, I think we sought it out. I went and took some sexy photos in a men's T-shirt.
Did you?
Yeah, but not T-shirt, button down, a collared shirt,
For God's
if
sake.
you will.
Yeah. Still wet, but a men's
Sure,
collared
I
shirt.
mean, it's a men's magazine.
Right.
And then we kind of sent them photos and prodded, and then I had to send in a few different jokes.
Wow. You
Yeah.
auditioned for this.
Yeah, I
This is
totally
more
did.
exciting. See, this is the deal. I tell people all the time. You make life happen or you wait.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
I went after it.
I like that.
And now that goal is achieved, I think
What's
retirement.
What's next in the magazine world?
Done.
For you?
I've got a sexy little something sexy coming out in GQ in August with Gillian Jacobs, who's on Community. And recently there was a little leak, so I and a lot of other people got to preview those photos
Really?
via Twitter, but then it was immediately pulled. They have a very good legal department, GQ.
Wow.
So everyone else will have to wait.
What a thrill. I don't imagine you auditioned for that.
No.
I came looking for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there were definitely some things we had to turn down on set at the photo shoot that we were not expecting, like ball gags.
Really?
Yeah.
I commend you. And I think all your fans do as well.
Thank
That's
you.
something we'd
I thought
rather
so.
imagine.
Right?
Yeah. In
Yeah.
fact, so the two of you to do that photo shoot must have been pretty fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was
Did you shoot on the set? No.
No, we shot in some amazing house that was like, a museum. It was a really nice. I was like, people live here? This is crazy. But we were not wearing a lot of clothes.
Somebody's random house you just showed up at?
Yeah, I was like, hey,
Can we...
Yeah, well, first I did some scouting. I went out at night and kind of peeped in people's windows.
Nice.
And this one looked nice enough. They
Right.
had great shades. So
Had a lovely shades.
that's key, I think, for a good photo shoot
Yeah.
in lingerie.
And then I'm sorry, I cut you off much to the viewers and listeners' disdain as you were discussing near wearing clothes.
We were not wearing a lot of clothes. I think I thought we were going to be wearing more clothes, and then we kind
a
of got
parka?
there. Yeah, like big winter jackets, for the summer issue, just to kind of a little juxtaposition with the season.
Wait a sec, this is the summer issue of GQ. It should be out.
Summer. It's in August. That's still summer.
The August issue normally comes out in July if you have a subscription, so people may have this already.
But
I
the
don't think
September issue would
so.
come out in August. That's probably what,
That's probably what it is.
Oh,
what it's
maybe.
going to be. It's going to be the September
Needless
issue.
to say, it's not on the
I
stands.
screwed it up.
It's not at the stand on the stands.
No, not yet.
Right.
People
Well,
have
this
to
is
wait.
exciting.
Yeah. But
It
it was hard work.
Tell me. Tell
was
me,
like
'cause
doing
this won't happen.
Pilates.
Was it?
Yes, because you kind of, sort of this Betty Page theme, and you're sort of holding all these poses. Like, me and Gillian got really close. We've never been that close to each other's bodies with that little amount of clothing on. So, but it's very technical. It's like put your knee in her crotch and wrap your leg around her calf.
Again, just a moment. Thank you. So the game Twister came to mind. Little
Yeah,
bit.
pretty much.
Okay.
And then you had to hold it for too long and kind of try to look attractive and funny because it's their comedy issue.
Oh, well, what a great
So
thrill.
that makes sense.
What a great thrill.
Yeah.
They don't just want you to be in there and be pretty.
Right.
Right?
Right. No, it's a bit silly as well.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, for our audio listeners, by the
please.
way, I'd like to point out that Alison just reenacted every one of those poses that she discussed.
Right.
So maybe consider downloading the video one and see what you're missing.
I am
Suckers.
sweating. It's true. Gosh.
Sam, that's the second time you suggested people stop just listening.
Yeah.
Do you take umbrage?
No.
Okay.
Just, I want them to know what they're missing.
Wow.
We go through makeup for them.
Here's what I wanted to ask about the funny jokes and beautiful women.
Yes.
Do you remember the joke that you shared? Because I'm a big fan of it.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Would
so.
you mind
Oh gosh.
sharing?
But can I really remember? The delivery is going to be a little off. Guy goes into a bar. Sexy. Wait. The sign on the bar says tomato sandwich, $5. Ham sandwich, $5. Hand job, $5.50. And the guy, the sexy bartender, sandwich maker, approaches the man, and she says, "Hey, what can I get for you, sir?" And he says, "Are you the one who gives the hand jobs?" And she goes, "Why, yes, I am. That's her beautiful lashes." And he says, "Well, watch your friggin' hands. I want a ham sandwich."
Right? Wash your fucking hands.
Thanks. I didn't know if we were allowed to say fucking here. I got so scared.
Wash your fucking hands. I want a ham sandwich.
Love that
Come
joke.
on.
Love it.
It's a fantastic joke.
It's a pretty good joke.
Yeah. So you're a fan of comedians growing up at all?
Yeah, you know.
Because you kind of took to it real easy.
Yeah, I was. I would watch stand-up comedy on the television. Mm-hmm. You know, that little contraption.
Right.
And things like that. My parents are quirky, so they make jokes. I don't know, when I was a kid I remember, I didn't watch Saturday Night Live. I did watch Saturday Night Live at a pretty early age, actually. That's a lie. I watched it, like, in elementary school, but only when I would sleep over at my friend's house, and my parents would let us watch it. And then, but even prior to that, young, like, I was maybe 7. My family would have barbecues with our friends, family friends, big barbecue, and I would kind of, like, wrangle all the kids together in the other room, and we'd put together these little skits that were, like,
nice.
Kind of dirty,
Sure.
funny, Saturday Night Live kind of skits. Like I would always incorporate whatever food we were eating at the barbecue. So if it was a hot dog kind of barbecue, then I would come out and do this thing with like an edible wieners commercial and be like, "It's your penis, but you can eat it if you're hungry on the go." And I'd have like a trench coat on. I mean, look, you got to picture a 7-year-old doing this.
I'd rather not.
Our parents found it hilarious.
Yeah.
I think they were all a little drunk at the time.
Sure.
So I was encouraged at an early age to go in that.
I'm going to say if it's your own 7-year-old, it's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Yeah. For me to sit here and be asked to picture this.
Your good friends, your best friends, 7-year-old, just kind of like waddling out.
Yeah. No, for your neighbors and friends, it's fantastic. For me now, it's not appreciated as a visual.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Well, I was waiting, and thank you. All right, so now here's the deal. I mentioned at the top of the show that we had a couple of your co-stars here.
Yeah, all men.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted to go down the list, get a little take from you.
Okay.
On the gentlemen that have sat at this table, because we, of course, know them through conversations at this table. And the people who are fans of the show know them, got to know them a little better. That's the thing about this show. You know, it's more than the plugging of wares on talk shows.
I love that.
So I wanted your particular take on a few of these fellas. Okay. Let's start at the top, Michael Gladys.
I love Michael Gladys.
Right?
Yep.
Come on.
Good guy.
What are we talking about?
Salt of the earth.
Yeah.
Is that the expression?
That is still the expression.
Now the
beard grows a good beard.
Grows a hell of a beard.
Strong beard grower.
Smokes a hell of a pipe.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Classy guy. Could wear an ascot.
Could easily pull off the ascot. Did you guys ever have any scenes together? I'm just trying to think.
No.
Do you go down to the office?
I went down to the office a couple times, and there was a party in the second season. But we also all did a live stage show of singing variety kind of show.
Oh, I'm going to need to know a little more about that.
That we did. Yeah, we performed it in Vegas, and we also performed it here at
Mad Men Live?
Yeah.
What?
Mad Men Live Review. It was the Mad Men Live Review.
What?
Yeah.
Did you know this?
I think this was very early on, right?
It was last year. No, it wasn't. I think it was our second season, maybe after the second season.
We started watching after the second season had aired. We started watching. We caught up on the DVD, so that's probably why we weren't just aware of it.
Yeah.
No, well, it was. You know what?
I've seen every episode at least 3 times.
Hey, I'm
At
not
least.
doubting your fandom.
We are obnoxious fans now.
I love it.
Oh, God.
Well, it was one night only. It was one night only at the El Rey here in LA, and then it was one night only in Vegas, and there was always talks of then it was going to go to New York and London and Australia, but that never happened.
Michael and Rich Sommer would have hated that.
Oh, yeah. Rich didn't sing. He did, gags. He came out in a big diaper. You know.
This is sounding a little like the Star Wars holiday special. You know what I'm talking about?
He was baby Jesus, so he wasn't. He was not baby Jesus.
He should be. Someone should dress
He
him
would
as
make
baby
a hell
Jesus.
of a baby Jesus.
I agree.
All right, well, that covers Rich Sommer. Bobby Morris has sat at this table. We visited, Jamie and I visited the set a couple of times. The Ham Man had us out, and then Slattery was directing an episode, and we went out for
He was
that.
in that episode, but I didn't see him.
Oh, man.
I know.
Bobby Morse, a legend, and also on the set,
Adorable.
the sweetest guy ever.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Great in the hair and makeup trailer. Always just kind of like pleasant face to see in the morning and kind of like, I don't know.
A real theater
smile.
guy
Yeah.
and real love of fellow actors and
Yeah,
actresses.
got good stories. Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't, he and I probably have seen him the least though, because
Right.
at least there's commingling with others at the office and parties, work parties, but not so much
Right.
with him, with his character and my character. Separate.
Were you at the after party at the Hotel Maman after the Emmys?
I do not think so.
Because the big AMC party 2 years ago
Yeah.
was at the Maman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They go there a lot.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
happening
where
spot.
I first met Slattery, who we're on to next, and yelled at him at 3 a.m. You've been dodging me all night, Slattery. And we became pretty quick friends because he's a great drunk,
yeah.
which we
Well,
love.
they all are.
Yeah.
It's a good group.
How wonderful of a director do you find him to be?
He was great, He has so much experience on the other side of the camera, and on that type of show too. He's so easygoing and kind of knows what you were going through. It just felt very easy.
Right.
I think having him do that. I will always remember him as the politician that wanted to pee on Carrie in Sex and the City series. So I think I told him that gem at our season 1 wrap party when I was a little tipsy. I was like, Judd, I got to tell you something. Amazing story, big fan. But originally, it didn't go over that well, I don't think. I don't
Really?
He probably gets it a lot.
He probably gets it a little more than
I don't know why I thought it was so original at the time.
No.
Still embarrassed about it.
Yeah.
Let's relive this moment.
I think
John, if
it's-
you're listening.
After you do something like that as an actor, you have to be prepared for fans of the show to kind of remember that moment.
Hey, if people are gonna, come up to me and reference Hot Sluts, the web series, I can reference Peeing Politician.
I left that out of the dossier.
You're welcome.
All right, so from Slattery, we go to the original tall drink of water, Joel McHale. It's a little ridiculous.
Wait, Joel McHale?
Yeah.
Just went there?
Yeah.
You're done with the Mad Men people?
No, we're coming back to the Ham Man. we're doing this. Yeah,
you
yeah.
kind of, yeah. That was
I thought
a
I'd throw you in.
curveball.
Well, first of all, we're going to talk greatly about how the hell, for any actor, to be able to be in 2 television shows at the same time, let alone 2 shows in prime time, let alone 2 shows that are crazy beloved by their fans, and then we factor in the critics too. I mean, those 2 things even existing at the same time are ridiculous. And then for someone to be on both.
Dumb luck. Incredibly lucky.
Well, timing is such that it provides, anyone with what appears to be luck. But, first of all, I'm just giving you a little heads up. We're going to get to these topics. But the Joel McHale, I got to hear. We think he's We think he's hilarious. Jamie was watching him on The Soup from kind of day one and forced me into watching this ridiculous string bean of a man be silly and absolutely ridiculous and funny.
Yes. Very funny.
But your take on him as a fellow, he and I worked together in this movie. I found him to be ridiculously charming and
Very charming.
and also just super sweet and sincere.
So nice. I
Yeah.
think that people, he kind of has this persona doing The Soup, and I always knew him from The Soup, and you kind of think he's going to be super snarky. And,
Right.
And he's very quick-witted and
Yes.
can be amazingly snarky, but is also the most down-to-earth, amazing guy, amazing father and husband and good guy. It's kind of great having him be the lead of the show because it kind of sets the whole tone.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? He's not a diva. He's not that way. He's incredibly charming. Everyone wants to get insulted by Joel McHale. He's so good at kind of like, insulting people. I think it's like just literally random guys on the lot at Paramount, not people working on our show.
No.
Like the guy delivering the FedEx box, and Joel will be like, "Nice pants," but then say something more clever about the pants that's also insulting pants.
Yeah.
And that's my Joel McHale impression,
Wow.
everybody. And just piece it together. And everyone just blushes and is like, "Oh, thanks, man." I mean, people love it. I love it.
It's a badge of
Joel.
honor.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's what I do. Joel. That's my name.
Is that right? Now, the fans were kind of excited when things heated up, as it were. First, there was the debate episode.
There was, yeah.
where-
And that was a shocker.
A shocker because the fans were so excited about it?
Yeah,
Or a shocker?
well, that they even wrote it in. I think I was really surprised when we were shooting the episode prior and we got the script and Gillian was like, "Oh, you're kissing Joel in the next episode." And I was like, "No, that's not what." And then I got and then I kind of read it and was like, "Oh, that's interesting. That'll be weird." I kind of didn't get that the show was going to shift and that it was going to be this kind of big change in the direction of
Right.
my character or that relationship or that being its own storyline or anything. But there was amazing feedback from fans about it, which was equally
Positive.
very positive.
Because it could have gone negative real bad.
Yeah, it could. And there's still the camp of people that are like that like to point out the age difference and sort of be like, "That's gross." But you know, most people I think also know that it's a television show and it's
yeah.
not real, and she's of age, and we're Joel and I are actually closer in age than the characters are, so it's not too molesty,
Yeah. It's not too molesty.
if I may.
Yeah, I was enjoying the use of the word strokey, but now I think molesty may have...
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
good. So, but yeah, there were more. The surprising. It was the videos, the fan videos. That was the first time I had experienced real
Do tell.
fan videos. Well, we mocked them in a recent episode where they did this kind of slow-mo thing with me and with Joel and I, and then they did it again with Chevy and Danny Pooty, and kind of saying you could take any scenes from any episode and put them to, Sarah Bareilles' Gravity. Pretty sure that's how you pronounce her
Yeah,
name.
yeah, of
So,
course it is.
Just
Nicely done.
Nobody argue with me on that. and it would look romantic. But yeah, it's sort of like you go on YouTube and search Jeff and Annie. Not that I do this all the time. and there's all these videos that come up to romantic music, and you would think our show was like, a 1-hour drama. If you just watch these videos, you'd be like, "Oh my God,
It's so
what is this?"
intense.
Yeah, intense drama about these two characters,
Yeah.
or the love triangle with Britta. It was
That's cool.
flattering, very
Yeah,
flattering.
That's unbelievably cool.
I think at a young age, I always was like I want to do good work, but I really just want to be in a good preview. Like, when you see a really good
Trailer,
preview,
yeah.
a good trailer for a movie. God, the Super 8 trailer was so good. I was like, oh, I wish I was in that trailer. And
Not in the movie.
I don't have to be in the movie. Just a line in the trailer, and that's
funny.
how I feel about these fan videos. They're like an amazing trailer all the time for our show that has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the
I just
actual
want to be in a
content of the show.
brilliantly executed parody YouTube video.
Yeah, and now I have. So again, let's just check that off the list.
Yeah. It's a little ridiculous when you start to break down all that has taken place at such an early age that I can't imagine you can really afford to spend much time thinking about it, or it just gets uncomfortable even for you.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Because at some point you can't answer anymore to what does it feel like to be, and I certainly don't have little to no interest in that.
yeah,
Because it's easy to assume you being...
it feels great.
Yeah, but, and clearly you're aware, I can already sense, of the sort of absurd, how does this work in the universe, math.
Yeah,
But initially, there must have been a time when worlds collide.
Mm-hmm.
Line producers have to get on the phone with each other.
absolutely.
So let's go. I would be remiss if we didn't get to Mr. Ham in the little breakdown. Thank
Here,
you.
I thought
Thank you for the
I thought you were
McHale.
going to forget it completely. I was not going to remember.
Well, he sat here in a sweat-stained hat and
Did he?
a
Sweat-stained hat.
7-day growth, which we found out happens within hours.
We like to go cash here.
Yeah, but
We Mad Men means.
But he, more specifically, he tried so very, very diligently to appear unattractive, and of course failed miserably.
Yeah.
But the effort was appreciated.
Yep.
Yeah. So, is the sense for you two initially that how can anyone be that handsome and also funny?
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Yes. I still think that whenever I see John Hamm on set, I blush I blush every time I say it. I'm a blusher. Like, I blush very easily anyway.
I noticed when we first
Yeah, I
met
think I did come. Yeah, I did, didn't
that
I?
you hadn't at all.
Oh, no. I think I did.
I'm totally kidding.
That's all I'm going to hear.
You know what? I'm going to go. I'm just going to go.
That's all I'm going to hear for the next month.
That's right. I'm prepping you for
I
Ramus's
could feel
visit.
it. I just have so much makeup on. You probably, no.
So yeah, you blush a little when Johnny's around.
I blush a ton. I can't
yeah.
help but blush. It embarrasses me. I never talked to him for very long, I don't think, because I still get embarrassed talking to him.
And he couldn't be more of just a guy.
No,
I mean,
he's
that's
so
the
cool.
great
He's
thing.
just so normal and funny and cool. Yeah.
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 But
it's
what-
weird. And he's great, and he's amazing on the show, and he's going to direct an episode.
It's about damn time.
Yeah.
That's
The
exciting.
season premiere.
Really?
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. Gonna
that'll be
have to
interesting.
visit that.
It's actually a pretty big deal because it wasn't always Matthew Weiner would direct the season opener and then the season ender. Always.
Yeah, I think you might.
See?
be right. Well, he always does the season ender.
Nerd.
Does he always do the opener?
Oh, I thought it was
should
he would do
know
both.
this. I feel like
You got a computer in front of you? Look it
up.
But it is a big deal whoever does the first episode regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a super big deal.
Oh yeah, I hope I'm not in it because I'll just be beat red the whole time. It would be weird.
Well, fortunately, he only watches this show every week.
Shit. I'm totally
That's
kidding.
a perfect reaction. Oh, shit. Let's talk first about, before we get to the worlds colliding and how line producers even work this damn thing out.
Yes.
Because in the research, it seemed like it was the producers at Community were such fans of Mad Men that they were inclined to
Yeah.
want to help out.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is the case in a big way, and also I think that they're smart and people know that things go hand in hand, and it's kind of good to have someone on two shows and have some crossover between viewership of those shows.
And work-wise, it wasn't too much of an overlap, was it?
Well, not until this year. Previously, yeah, the last 2 years, Mad Men usually starts up in
June.
No, April, May,
Okay.
yeah, and Community at the end of July. So we would be almost done with the season of Mad Men. Starting up, it would be 1 or 2 episodes, and I only shoot maybe a day or 2 on that show because it's such an ensemble show. And my
Yeah.
stuff's usually just me and Vincent in a room.
Yeah.
So really, it wasn't that difficult. This year, I was a bit nervous about it. Or I am a bit nervous about it, maybe. Still, we'll see what happens.
Because they're telling you it's going to be fine, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have to work 7-day weeks, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, they don't shoot on the weekends.
No.
So.
Not
But I
at all.
do for the indie movie, so yeah, I will be. I'll just.
For a little while.
Yeah.
And for a little while also, there was a third one,
Oh, yeah. Well,
My Alibi.
Oh, well, no. That was just a web series.
Ah.
That sounded so mean when I sent that home.
Yes! I'm trying something.
Thank you, Sam.
Just trying something.
Sammy, that was lovely.
Gosh, Sam, that's the first time I realized you were in here. The whole time I
Yeah,
thought
it's
you
weird.
were
You
like
thought
throwing
Kevin
your
was sitting in both
voice.
seats.
Yeah. Wow.
Where were we? Oh, I remember. You
web
were
series.
taking a big dump on web series.
I mean,
Yeah, sure. Let's not kid ourselves.
they're not real TV shows.
Not at all. Not even close.
No, I
don't
love
even know
working
why
on
they-
that one. Sorry.
No. But production-wise, so you're saying it wasn't much workload?
No,
Because it
and
was
you know
like
what,
08, 09?
It was prior to Community. It was right before. We were done with that before Community started.
Righteous.
So that wasn't a problem. And you know what? We did it during the summer mostly when Mad Men was not in production, so it didn't conflict. Plus, it was just a web series, so...
Yeah.
think it would've been-
Not as much work involved. They're not intimidated.
Well, I think there's just a more clear... In the Mad Men Community... face off. It's kind of like which one gets priority, although it's not really because I'm a regular on Community and I recur on Mad Men. But when you're talking about Mad Men in a web series, it's
Yeah.
not like they'd be like, I think we get priority here. This web series goes up in 3 hours. I think people know
Yeah.
that Mad Men would probably be the priority.
Yeah, the people on the production of the web series would be hilarious if they suggested otherwise.
Those adorable little guys.
I know, right? Because they're all about 6 inches tall. That's the beautiful thing.
They were, well, actually they were. It was little people that produced the show. It was an outreach program.
Yeah.
It was called My Alibi.
Were they disenchanted?
You had to say my alibi like that.
Prior to Mad Men,
We just cut that part out.
Yeah.
Can we cut that? We're pre-taping here.
you were in as a youngster
Yeah.
in the Glasgow, Scotland, studying dramatic arts.
Yeah. Well, I went to CalArts. I got my degree in theater.
I'll say.
In acting for the theater from CalArts. I don't usually say it like that word, theater.
But is part of the regular curriculum that all dramatic students there spend time?
No, you had to apply and all that. And I actually, the school only does, the theater school anyway, they do the study abroad programs to Scotland and New Zealand. Only those are your choices. So I applied to study abroad in New Zealand. And then every time,
And you found out the Kiwis hate you?
yeah.
Right.
And then I was like, well, I still want to go. But I don't know, my teachers, every time I would see them in the hall, it was like they didn't remember. They'd be like, you applied to go to Scotland, right? And I'd be like, well, no, New Zealand, but I would go to either. I just want to study abroad. It'll be great. And after seeing them, 5 or 6 times and them saying Scotland, I was just like, yes, Scotland, I'm in.
Yeah.
Get me out of here. No, I loved going to CalArts. But Scotland was great. I'm Scottish. So, felt right at home.
Right.
With my brethren.
Nice. So once you got there, was that the first time you'd been?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it was.
you have this in your DNA, but is there an affinity? Is there a connection? Is there any family to be traced?
Well, it's a sore subject. My dad was a little upset. Uh-oh.
Is it?
Okay.
Everyone all right?
Nope.
Because I didn't go visit the small town where I may have had relatives, Dysart, Scotland, I believe it was, and I just didn't go.
You blew it off.
Fucking blew it off.
And Dad was ever so thrilled.
Yeah, he was not happy.
How long were you there? In the Scotland?
3 or 4 months.
Really?
Semester.
That's a long...
Just
Seems like
it's
ample
busy.
time to go visit. How far away was it? Say a long ways.
It was far
Really far.
away.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually not even in Scotland.
It's just outside. It hovers just above the ocean.
It's in outer space, which is weird.
Outer space Scotland.
Yeah. It's in the future. So I was
but-
like, how am I going to get there?
But now, you have this child...
Wait.
Exactly. Well,
Wait this one out, I guess.
I think...
I'm still looking forward to the visit.
Yeah. And you're probably wondering, what was with Dad anyways? Thinking
Yeah.
that I would just go to outer space.
Yeah. Or the future.
As
Come
it
on,
were.
Dad.
I didn't want to say it, but you're right. Come on, Dad. Between that and the hot dog sketch. But
Striking out.
So as a childhood kind of dream, and then the encounter with the teachers and the hustling to get yourself to Scotland to study abroad, all very exciting on paper and in theory. What was the experience like of actually doing this? Because not a lot of people have done so.
It was fantastic. You think not a lot of people have studied
I've been
abroad?
fortunate enough, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that you say that because, I always make a point to tell people that I have,
I think it's
because I'm
huge.
really proud of it.
You should be.
But then I always get a little embarrassed afterwards that I make such a point to be like, and I've studied in Scotland because it's kind of, I don't know, it makes me seem lame.
Well,
And
that was in fact lame.
You think when I say it like that?
Well, yes.
And I studied in Scotland.
Well, it's funny because it's lame.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's weird. That's why people give me a weird look when I do that at dinner parties.
Well,
stuff.
those people are dicks.
Yeah.
But I mean, when you're there in the middle of it, is it just crazy cool?
It was great. Yeah, it was absolutely great. It was just very different for me. I grew up in LA. I grew up, then I went to college at CalArts, so I could kind of go home on the weekends and do my laundry. I'd never been far from home. I just, even till 3 days ago, I was living in South Pasadena. So
Yeah, as it turns out.
So that was the farthest I had been from home, and I had never been abroad at all. And it was a time when I could just not have a cell phone. I mean, there were other things that were cool about being there that were kind of just feeling like I was on my own and experiencing the culture there and actually living there, which was nicer as opposed to kind of going on a vacation for a week and
you're living there.
and seeing the touristy
You're going to the
stuff.
market and getting vegetables and what have you.
Yeah.
You're living there.
Yeah,
Was it like
kind
a
of taking
dorm
little-
situation, or was you living off campus?
I lived with a woman. I lived with a woman and her 23-year-old daughter. This amazing woman with like this crazy red hair, who would tell me stories. We would
Wait
like
a
watch.
second. Scotland, crazy red hair? How was that?
It was so weird.
She'd tell you stories of...
She would tell me stories about, I don't know, the 60s while we would watch gardening shows. I loved it. And she would like make me hot toddies that were really strong.
Isn't there supposed to be booze in a hot toddy?
Oh yeah.
You were 18? 19?
Yeah, 17, 18, 19. No, I was older. Come on, it was what? I was probably like 20.
And the drinking age in Scotland is like 5.
Yeah, totally. They're just, you know.
I just want to make sure that I didn't speak over you so people would know you said that, Sam.
Yeah, that was me,
yeah,
Sam Levine. I said
Levine.
that. I accuse Scottish
Drinking
people of
age.
drinking very young.
Yeah. They just suckle from the teat. Booze comes out of their
right.
nipples. over there.
teat.
The booze teat.
Kenny, you can often be found at the booze teat. Is that right?
Oh, no, man. I would.
Not
I
anymore?
want to call last call on my nipple.
What a great... What are the chances we could all invest in a bar called the Booze Teat?
I want to invest in a bar called Last Call on My Nipple.
Well, at least a drinking game.
I'm in.
All right, so out of Scotland, and then you're back home, and then you've graduated, and shortly thereafter you were already auditioning for TV and stuff?
Yeah. I was very lucky. A manager came and saw me in a play up at school and kind of set me
At the
up
Cal
with
Arts?
some agents. Yeah, at Cal Arts. It was kind of it was like a horror movie. It was a mixed media play. Cal
Really?
Arts, you know, it was very artistic. It was actually very cool. It was like a horror movie, so we filmed part of it, and there was a big screen on the stage, and I was like, you know, it was like being in a horror movie, but doing a play. And
You obviously used that as your audition piece for Scream 4.
yes, I could have. It was just like that. And got agents. My first television job was on Hannah Montana.
On Hannah Montana, indeed.
Yeah.
So, going to need a little bit about that.
So
Super sweet kid.
yeah, you know, it was the first season of the show, so I had no idea what the show was or really who Miley Cyrus was. I literally got there and Billy Ray Cyrus was there, and I was like, oh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it was like
Fakey breaky.
I was late to the party. Yeah, kind of figuring it out like at the table read. Like, oh, I get what's going on here.
The show was already on a big hit, though.
No, it wasn't on at all.
Hadn't even aired yet.
Yeah.
As a
so I just
series.
was like, yay, I booked a show.
So nobody knew
No, not
who
at
Miley
all.
Cyrus
Yeah.
was. Well, that's a moment in time.
Yeah. So it was, you know, very
Was there a
down-to-earth
time before
kids.
Miley Cyrus? Is this, in fact,
There was.
it's
historically
BC.
true?
I have come here with a
BMC.
message.
BMC.
There was
Before
a
Miley
time, yes, and I was there.
Tell us about it. It must have been biblical.
You know, just kids having fun. It just
Yeah.
seemed like kids having fun.
Right.
Yeah.
And in fact, you missed out on the whole Hannah
Yeah, the
Montana
excitement. Not really.
shriek, shrill of a weird
Yeah.
thing. She had no security, for example.
Yeah. No, that's true.
He was still a bigger star.
True. You
Yeah.
could say that. Yeah.
Yeah. And it seems like the time span between that and Mad Men is not great.
No, it wasn't. It was not great.
And once again, that show had already started and yet had not aired, Mad Men.
Same. I came in
right?
the 4th episode, so they had shot a few. It had been picked up, obviously, and they had shot a few, but it had not aired. So similarly, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into.
Right. And had you auditioned for a series regular yet, or even recurring?
No. You mean just in general? Had I ever auditioned? Yeah, I was auditioning for things. But I was actually doing theater up in Ventura. I did Hannah Montana, and then I was actually making a living. I got to quit my day job because I was doing enough theater, which I thought was awesome.
Holy cow.
At the time, but then I came down to audition for that, and I just it really clicked. I remember reading the part and being like, "This is my role."
Really?
I totally do.
No, but seriously, those connections don't always happen.
No. And I was like, oh my God. And the writing was so great, even though I would only get my scenes. But in my first episode, I think the first episode I ever did of Mad Men, I had the most scenes that I've ever had in an episode of Mad Men.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just basically deteriorated from there. But
Well,
but no, I remember looking up a picture of Vincent and being like, oh, we look alike. We can totally play husband and wife in a period show, because I just thought
because we look alike?
because we look like brother and sister, and it'll just make sense. Like, you know how like people and their dogs, you know how couples like
Yes.
look alike.
People and their dogs, yes. Married couples eventually look like each
They
other.
do.
Yeah.
They
can become each other.
I just felt it.
But I
Of
love that
course.
you did this research and this connection, and you felt the strong about it, and then you meet Vincent.
Yeah. Well, and then I almost didn't get the part, maybe. I auditioned for it. I didn't hear back for weeks, and I thought I didn't get it. And Matt Weiner told me later that they did a whole other casting session with other girls.
Yeah.
But he went back and was like, "Get me that Brie girl." I don't know. Watched my tape. I came in and did it. But yeah, and then I met Vincent, and
Was
the
that
rest is history.
Was that part of the casting process?
No.
Because Vincent was already cast. He
Yes.
had been for show one.
He was, but no, it was just a pre-read with casting, and then came back later that afternoon for Matt and the director of the episode and maybe 5 or 6 other people. And you're all did my hair in like a beehive and did the whole
You did
thing.
it?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
I spent time doing. I really wanted it to be perfect because I felt really good about it being like my role.
And then they said, "You're
sounds
hired,
cheesy.
but we have to do something with the hair."
No, in the room. You're hired, but what is
What
this
the hell?
thing on your head? No, in the room it was like, I was so excited to go in and was very kind of 60s. I don't know, I was just very, I don't know what I was. And we kind of did a few scenes, the third of which being kind of a more subdued kind of talking scene, and Matt was like, all right, do the first 2 scenes again, but do them like the third scene, like calm down a little. And I was kind of like, okay. And I did. Then, maybe didn't get it, kind of got it. Eventually, when I got it, I came in to do the table read, and Matt came up to me first thing. I was like, oh, I'm so excited to be here. And he was just like, you're great. Forget everything I said in the room. Just do it the way you did it.
No.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I felt good about it.
Oh God, that's amazing.
Yeah. And Vincent was great. It was immediately great. And he and I right away started rehearsing outside of production so that we could we would rehearse on our own. And we kept that up definitely the first 2 years a lot, and then the third year a little less, and then last year kind of not at all because of Community. And
Right.
and so that was great. It was really cool for me to go from theater and really kind of being a nerd about acting, like really studying and kind of doing homework and
Well, you were a
and
drama
like-
freak, let's be honest.
I was
Yeah,
a drama nerd. I like doing that stuff.
Absolutely.
So it was great to meet Vincent and kind of have that segue into TV as opposed to just going right in where you kind of just get your pages, do your material. It was more still an art form, and the show kind of is that way. I think that's why it's a great show. It's so nuanced, and Matt would be on set all the time, the first 2 seasons especially, and
How long into the first season before Vincent started being a lunatic to the delight of everyone?
oh, I mean, like 30 minutes.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah,
How nutty and kooky and zany.
he can be zany.
Oh my. To the point where I don't know how you get through him saying "Hell's Bells, Trudy."
Oh, what a great line.
Were there laughs just nonstop? I mean, there must have been some moments of the dialogue because it's so period, where the two of you,
just crack up.
yeah.
No, not really. To be honest, I feel like the whole environment on set is very focused on Mad Men, and I think because the work is so nuanced and it's not. It sort of didn't dawn on me until later that Pete and Trudy are this comic relief on the series. Like, I didn't look at them as funny characters because when we're shooting the scenes, it's
Well, of
very
course.
intense.
Of course.
We're not kind of laughing at the Hell's Bells because we've got Matt in there being like, your heart is breaking,
Oh.
and you don't know what he's going to say, and this and that, and you're and then later we would screen the episodes and people were cracking up, and I'd be like, what? So I'm wiping my tear with the napkin ring, like, so. But it took me kind of stepping back and going, oh yeah, I guess it's pretty funny, but you could never play it that way.
No, thank God.
Because it's not that type of show.
Yeah.
As opposed to Community, where we're just blah, blah, blah. It's like constant hilarity and joking and laughing all the time.
Right. I guess it takes a few seasons and also the show being on and being accepted and everyone relaxing into their skin of their character before, because he's so zany and ridiculous that when he has to be super serious, I guess it isn't until he's comfortable as an actor on a set, which would seem like it would take longer than a season to really be silly enough between takes, or is he fairly serious between takes? I mean, I know
We're still talking about Vincent being silly in between takes. He's silly between takes. He always has been, I think. But like I said, he and I felt comfortable immediately, and because I think we would rehearse outside, we would kind of rehearse, and then once we would kind of get in the groove of the scene, if you're taking a break and they're doing camera stuff, it's kind of nice when things are heavy to take a break and
Oh
joke
yeah,
around,
yeah.
Well,
it's that really that I was referring to, as opposed to this work is silly and ridiculous, because Hell's Bells, Trudy, has been recited in our home maybe 1,000 times.
Oh, fantastic!
I wanted to point. She brought up a good point about how when you screen this in front of an audience, you get such a different reaction because normally when you're watching at home, it's like you, maybe one or two other people. But I recently went to a Mad Men panel that they had, and yeah, they showed in like a big theater with a huge audience, and people were laughing at moments that, like, I was taking very seriously, and then there were jokes too that I didn't pick up on. So.
Right.
Yeah. There's a lot. It's a funny show. There's a lot of funny stuff that happens.
Yeah.
On the show.
Well, slattery going off sometimes. I just take this for the alcohol, by the way, in case anybody was
good.
wondering.
I did not know that.
Sam! Oh, Sam!
It's
You're
me.
back.
It's me. It was me.
I think you left, and
I did. I
now
went
you're
out for
back.
sandwich.
Sam, it feels like you're pushing now.
Pushing. No, I just wanted to. I wanted to help the viewers. What was it, Joe from Morton? Whatever his fucking name was. Fuck you in the neck, man. I'm sorry, Kevin. Go ahead.
Now in the neck, so it's below the ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just checking. Well, the other thing in terms of working as a true cast, and then that great moment for all of you winning the SAG Award in 08, Best Cast Ensemble or Ensemble Cast. That sort of validation is exceptional. The show having a sort of rabid following among its fans has to be a point of pride for all of you. Yeah. And so that must be part of the sense on the set for season 2 when you're shooting, in terms of, is there any pressure to let's not screw this up because now we have people who care? Is that factor in?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's probably different for me. I can't speak for all of the ladies of the show. I think because I recur on the show.
Right.
I feel like it exists on many levels. Because personally, just coming back, knowing that I was being invited back to continue working on the show every season,
right.
I feel lucky, and I always feel after being away from the show, because it's a pretty long hiatus,
right.
because they do such a short season,
right.
and coming back, I think I always do get a little nervous, like, okay, I hope I can remember kind of what Trudy is and be at a level with everyone
right.
on a level.
That's interesting because you had such a connection to her when you first saw the material. Like, this is
and I still do. And as soon as I see the scripts, I'm like, oh yes, I know this woman, and there's that. But I just not in a negative way. I think I just want to be as good as everyone on the show. It's nice that there's a level of excellence,
yes,
and a level of pride that goes into the work that's being done there, and I feel the same way.
Yeah. Well, that material coming in week after week. Eventually, do you get full scripts or just initially?
Eventually I got full scripts. Yeah.
So then reading,
but still only for the episodes I'm in. So I enjoy watching it as a viewer.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Because the cast has varied at times and expanded, and people have come and gone. Some people missed Duck.
Yeah.
Some not so much. I thought it was
He comes back here and there.
It was a great character.
He came back last season.
But his character, I felt like, went through such highs and lows and almost more drama.
Hey, we don't miss anyone more than Chauncey the dog.
No, well.
Oh, Chauncey.
Poor Chauncey.
It's so unfortunate to be let go into the New York traffic.
Oh.
Yeah.
Chaunce, little Chaunce.
Yeah. And now, as a transition to discussing the hilarious world that is Community.
Yes.
I think a nice little icebreaker, if you'll allow us, is a game we play here at the show called Who Tweeted?
What the? Roll the intro.
Ooh.
I assume the intro's running. Otherwise, I'm just walking in front of it. Hey! There's a great
Celebrities have so much to say.
Who tweeted?
Thank you,
Is the
Kenny.
game we're gonna play.
Oh, boy.
That won't be that loud blaring when the show goes out, I'm sure.
No,
they don't even know what I'm
unrelated.
talking about.
Unrelated.
Yeah. Sammy,
Boy, this is exciting.
it's nice to see you.
It's so nice to be here.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
So
nice to see you.
Hey, Alison, how are you?
I'm good.
It's going great so far,
Thanks.
by the
Oh,
way.
thanks.
Really.
Tell us about Who Tweeted.
Oh, well. Who Tweeted is the game that's sweeping the nation. Mm-hmm. It's been, we've already spawned so many ripoffs on so many other television shows, I can't get over it.
It is
But
actually true.
if you want the best in the original,
Yes.
as created by our own head writer, Jamie Foxx, right over there, here it is, Who Tweeted. So, we discussed it before. I will read a series of 8 tweets.
Ooh. Wait, you're going to read all 8?
I'm going to stop at the end of each
One at a time.
Oh, okay.
One at a time. At the end of each tweet, you are going to tell me who you think authored it.
Okay.
It was Tyra, Paris, or Bieber.
Okay.
And did you notice the new graphic that went up? That looked pretty sharp. We replaced me with Bieber.
If there were a graphic here,
Oh, there
in
was.
the studio,
Gorgeous.
Wasn't it great?
I
See
would
how
appreciate
she...
it. Wow,
mind's
it's weird
eye.
that I missed it. Weird.
well, you were still at your seat.
Very well.
Yeah.
So, here's how the point system works.
Yeah.
You buzz in if you think you know the answer. Whenever you think you know it. If I'm still in the middle of reading it, go ahead and buzz in. You buzz in by saying your own name.
Oh.
Then I will point to you, and you have 3 seconds to say Tyra, Paris, or Bieber.
Okay.
Ring in, you get it correct, 5 points. Ring in, you get it wrong, you're going to lose 3.
Oh, yeah, there's a penalty. There's a penalty for being
But
incorrect.
what's the best strategy here, though? Do you think always guess? If I don't ring in at all,
You know what?
I'd rather have massive negative.
You're the
points.
first guest to ask what a strategy might be. And so I feel like it's the first opportunity I've had to say there is no correct strategy.
There is no
well.
strategy
It has not been
Thank
solved.
you. Okay.
But that's a good thing to sort of keep in mind as the thing progresses. You know, as
Keep
the
your eye on
point.
that.
Yeah. We've had games where it's the battle of the negatives.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. Those are great.
I don't think Joel McHale got one correct.
I believe you're
Oh,
right.
good.
I believe you're right. But
Oh,
here's
wow.
the best part. We're not playing for kicks.
What? There's gambling afoot?
Whoa.
20.
Whoa.
$20.
Hold the phone.
Is this
There
the
you go.
dancing Andrew Jackson?
He's a little limp. I don't know if
I read that in history in 4th grade that he was a little limp. All right.
Dance a little bit.
Do we have 8 questions?
Are you good? You ready?
Yeah.
Take
a deep breath.
Wow. Andy got excited. Knocked him out.
Relax.
All right.
I guess, yeah, let's do it.
We're doing it.
No matter whether just
Here we
Gotta
go.
just do it.
Tweet number 1. The ladies of At The View TV, thank you for having me. Awesome as always. Sorry for the prank. LOL.
Allison
Nice.
Bieber.
That is correct.
Oh, she's off.
Strong start.
To
A
the plus
strong
column.
start to the game.
And you can interrupt him, by the way. You don't need to.
Yeah.
I know, I'm sorry. I
it's
I
a-
wasn't sure of it until
okay.
the LOLs.
I
Yeah,
just didn't.
sometimes
Had
you'll
to
get
wait
a
for
little
the
more
LOL.
information.
I didn't want. I don't. No, you were wise to wait. I just want if you want to buzz in early, you're allowed to. I just want to make sure you knew that. Yeah. Nicely done. It's 5-0.
5-zip. Tweet number 2. In the theater, Hangover 2 is about to start. Can't wait. Love funny movies.
Allison. Paris.
10-point lead.
Wow.
This is just sensational.
Getting stomped.
Wow.
I'm not sure I've been behind this quickly before.
Come on, Kevin. Get in there, man.
Good right now.
Yeah.
Number 3. At home, about to watch my interview on At George Lopez show. Lopez tonight on
Kevin.
At.
Paris.
That is correct.
Oh. Just started writing it in immediately.
Wow, Kevin.
No,
Shame on you.
I actually wrote that because that's good either way. It could be a plus or a minus.
All right.
You're going through my bag.
No.
Looking at the.
No, I would
You're
never. There's no
cheating.
fun in that. Please. You're the one who would look for presents hidden. What? Okay.
All right. Back to the more important thing. The game.
Yes. It is still 10-5.
Tweet number 4. My secret? Sometimes I hide behind mine.
Allison. Tyra.
That is correct.
Let me ask you a question now, judges. Did you use logic that a question answered by Tyra hadn't been used yet? Or did you think she wrote that? Either one's fine.
Wait. But I think, because what did it start with? What was the first line of the
My
tweet?
secret?
My secret. I didn't use logic. I thought anyone who starts a tweet with my secret, it's Tyra.
That's great! I love that.
Nicely done.
I love that. I wouldn't have had no disrespect whatsoever or respected you less had you done the logic, because I do that sometimes.
No logic here.
All right, no logic
All
here.
passion.
All right, now the questions are getting
Nice.
tougher. These
It
tweets
is
are getting tougher.
15-5.
All right.
Here we go. Tweet number 5.
We're 4 for 4, by the way. No one's got an incorrect answer.
Oh, wow.
That's rare.
That is very rare. Life is what you make of it. Follow your dreams and anything is possible.
Kevin Bieber.
Allison.
There's our first incorrect answer.
Oh, I'm so glad. I was totally going to say Bieber.
Ooh.
Why must I jump the gun?
Dodged a bullet. Was it Tyra? It was Paris.
Paris.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you cut
Paris being all positive and
You
whatnot.
cut me off before I could say dream big.
Oh.
And by dream big, I mean be born into a family with hundreds of millions of dollars. That helps you dream a little bit bigger.
Nice.
Tweet number 6. Dentist appointment today. Hashtag not fun.
No one's jumping at this one. Could be any which one, and that's the fun of the game. Kevin Tyra.
Oh, sorry, no.
I'm in the negative.
Oh, thank God. Again, I thought Tyra. Who was it? Where'd see?
Stumped. I'm
Bieber.
It was Bieber.
Bieber.
Oh, does not like dentist appointments.
Well, he's Canadian.
Right.
You know, the
They
dentists
don't know.
over there, they used to working on like Eskimos. They don't know what they're doing.
That doesn't make any sense.
Why am I going down this road?
Abort.
Stay away from Inuits.
Tweet. That's correct. That is.
Wait, no.
No, that's well. Are you going to
Stop.
give credit where credit is due?
David Tell.
That is right. That's a David Tell joke.
All right. Tweet number 7.
Tweet number 7. Searching for someone that I can retweet. Send fun stuff. I'll choose in a few minutes.
Allison. Tyra.
That is correct.
My God,
Running
she hasn't missed
away
one.
with the game.
Woo! And I was so nervous.
A
to
perfect
play.
4 for 4.
Wow.
Fortunately for me, the last question is worth 25 points.
Wait, what? That no.
We only do that when the
No.
guest is
We only do
behind.
that when the guest is
Yeah.
behind.
This is a...
I'll tell you what. We'll make the question worth 21 points, which would bring it to a tie.
That's not fair either. No. She has stomped me, and I think
It really is.
we should just go to the last question for shits and giggles. I'll see if I can get one more correct.
All right, here we go.
Go ahead.
Today went well at Macy's. The fans were amazing.
Kevin Paris. Missed it again.
By a score of plus 20 to
-4.
our winner. And I'm going to go ahead and
Yeah.
say champion.
Champion.
Alison Brie.
Thank
Biggest
you.
crushing for sure.
Thank
A
you.
devastating blow. And that is how you play
This.
Who Tweeted.
Thank you, Sam Levine.
My pleasure. Thank you, Kevin.
Nicely done, young lady.
I'm gonna spend this later. Put that right in here.
Putting that for safekeeping.
Put that there.
Yeah. It's going in a magic place.
It's always where I put my money. In my bra.
In your brassiere?
Yeah, that's where I keep it all. Yeah, it's weird with change because it just feels awkward, and then I have weird imprints of quarters
Again, give me a moment.
Your weird imprints of presidents' profiles.
on my boobs, which it can be fun at cocktail parties.
It's a fun game.
And cocktail parties.
Yeah.
That's when the boob comes out. Speaking of Joel McHale, what? Okay, now.
That's when the boob comes out.
So you're on the successful Mad Men, right? You're having the
Yes.
time of your life.
Amazing.
And your agent says, there's the show Community, and then what happens?
Yeah, that makes it sound very romantic. It was more like, hey, why don't you audition for a lot of pilots? And one of them was Community.
Right. We've got this great show that we can brag about that you're on.
Yeah. You know, it was pilot season, I guess, a normal pilot season. My
Sure.
first real pilot season, going out for shows.
For those at
And
home that
whatnot.
aren't in the business of show, I should explain. Pilot season is when you just date pilots.
Yes. So you know, I was having a good run of it.
Sure.
They liked my coin boob
You were,
trick.
you were having a good pilot season, were you?
Yeah. The gents were flocking. This is going a weird direction.
Well, first of all, not all pilots are men. Let's start there.
Well,
how
I
dare
was
you?
only dating the male ones. And the occasional,
my mistake.
redhead, female, busty. Christina Hendricks flies planes. That's all I'm trying to say. So, pilot season. I was
Right.
auditioning for a lot of pilots that would maybe become television shows. That was my
Right. Of course.
exposition for
Sure,
you
sure.
in place of yours. And anyway, I got this one. It was like right at the end of pilot season, so I'd already had I had tested on some shows I really thought I was going to get, didn't end up getting them. And I got the script, and they had already cast Joel and Chevy. I mean, actually, I think they had already cast everyone before they cast me. I was the last to be cast on
What?
Community. Yes, they
I
were
won't
having
have it.
trouble finding an Annie. So anyway, I got to read it with Joel and Chevy in mind, and I thought they had written it for Joel because the character seemed so perfect, and I watched The Soup all the time, and
Right.
and I was sort of like, oh, this is fantastic. Again, it was very smart. It was kind of like the smartest comedy pilot I had read, and being able to picture them doing it reminded me of Arrested Development or even 30 Rock or something in that vein, which are the shows that I watch. So I was excited to go in on it, and then it was a very quick process because they were so far down the line. They were about to start shooting the pilot. I think the timing was excellent.
Again,
because
again with the timing.
it really was. I think for a while they wanted Annie to be Asian. They were only reading Asian girls, which is maybe why I hadn't gone in on the part. And but I went in one day. There were tons of girls there, and then my tape actually went to the network and the studio and tested, and then I had to go back in, just me, and I did a workshop with the Russo brothers, Joe and Anthony Russo, who are our executive producers. They direct about half of the episodes a season. Dear friends of mine, amazingly talented guys.
Truly.
And I got to workshop my audition with them, so I felt pretty good about it. And,
Wow.
You know, and then I got it the next day, and the day after that I was on set doing a costume fitting and shooting the day after that. So it was very quick. It was an easy process.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was incredible. Especially because I hear horror stories about pilot seasons, and I had been through some pilot heartbreak earlier that year and or that summer. And
had you tested or anything?
yeah, I had tested, and it was one of those situations where it sort of felt the same. I think going into Community, I was sort of like, we'll see what happens, because with this other one, I had put so much into it. And
At some point, you can only get emotionally involved.
yeah, so much, and I'd had the casting people calling me, being like, "It's you. You're the one. Like, we're just going to have another person in there just so that they can see two different people."
You never
I went
wanted-
in, I nailed it. I felt really good about it. Of course,
Right.
didn't well, then they were hemmed and hawed. Can we see more tape of her on Mad Men? And it got weird. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
Of course, that show didn't go. So I
Really, that
turned
show
out-
doesn't exist now?
Yeah,
It's a failed pilot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I dodged a bullet.
To hell with them.
Yeah, it worked out.
But seriously, though, that is actually a part of the scenario that is truly an example of dodging a bullet.
Mm-hmm.
You're attached to that pilot. You're not available for Community.
True.
Period.
Yeah.
And your life has not changed as much as it has since the show has been on.
Yeah.
I mean, that for moments in time, that's pretty magical.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So within 2 days, the line producers from each show had figured out a method by which you could work on both. You probably don't even get involved in too many phone calls of, is it going to work out? Because it all happened so quick, right?
It did. It all happened very quickly, and we were in production on the pilot of Community. I think because it happened so quickly, we kind of were like, oh yeah, Mad Men, here's what's going on, and there was sort of a delayed reaction and process that happened after that, and then I sort of, the fear set in, and I was terrified, like, oh God, I hope this works out,
Right.
because I hope it works out with the scheduling, or if the show even gets picked up, and what's going to happen. Because the thing that you don't realize, I think even being in acting classes and seeing pilots and things happen for other people, everybody thinks, even when people look at John Hamm, I think is a great example, and people think it's instant, like, where is he? He's been nowhere, and then he comes out of nowhere and just explodes, and you're sort of like, well, no, he'd been working for a long time, plugging away,
Sure.
kind of doing this stuff, and similarly with shows, it's a gradual process. It's
Right.
not like there are so many hurdles to get over. It's not like, I booked a pilot, I've got it made,
It's anything but that.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's
In
endless.
fact, the odds are utterly against it.
Yeah.
80% or more pilots shot fail.
Yeah.
That is to say, don't become series.
Even
it's
if they
like
go to series, then it's like maybe
time
you get,
slot.
Yeah.
It's marketing. It's what
Yeah.
kind of push, what kind of support. These days, you can air twice and be yanked because
Yeah,
the
oh,
network gets
yeah.
impatient. It's literally become winning the lottery
Absolutely.
as an actor. It's not enough to get hired. Nowhere near enough.
No, and it's
Yeah.
just, I think it surprised all of us, because most of us on the show, it was really a kind of our first show, our first series regular gig, and because, like I said, I didn't have that experience with Mad Men. Being a recurring character, I was always just the girlfriend waiting by the phone, kind of like, oh, he called, I get to go out with him again.
Right.
Sure. And with this show, it was more
True
like my
ensemble,
show.
yeah.
Yeah. And when we first, it was like the pilot got picked up, yay, but for 6 episodes, and then it got extended to 13, and then we don't know what's going to happen, and then it got extended to 22 or 25, I think we did the first season, and then we're all waiting to see if it's going to get a second season. There are just so many times where you're just not safe, and it's a numbers game. People are coming in talking about the numbers after the show
And wasn't
airs.
the second season pickup where they delayed Parks and Recs and put you guys on?
Yeah.
So that was a huge shot in the arm.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I remember that moment in time, because we were watching all the Thursday night lineup, and the question was, all of these shows can't all come back in the fall, can they?
Yeah, because
Right?
they had some new pilots and this
Right.
and that, so it got a little...
So they held Parks and Rec and went with you guys, and I remember that was a huge, big deal for the show.
Yeah, it's... I feel like a lot of people, I guess this could be any show is the little show that could, but it really has felt that way with Community because
Well, for the mass
it's
public.
just, yeah, people don't, for the mass public who don't know what it is, that's probably why.
Well, the mass, even the public that watches NBC Thursday night and had enjoyed other shows, they know who Tina Fey is from Saturday Night Live. They know who Amy Poehler is on Parks from Saturday Night Live. You know, the audience for The Soup, although rabid and true, are 1,700 people.
Yeah.
It's a small audience.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably in the hundreds of thousands, not in the millions at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I could almost guarantee you it's less than 1 million.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I mean,
Nowadays,
Joel McHale has over 2 million followers on Twitter, so...
Nowadays, yes, but I mean prior to Community.
Right, okay.
Prior to Community, you know, like I said, the audience loved the show to death, but it's, you know, it wasn't that big of an audience.
Yeah.
Fair to say.
Yeah.
So,
but that's what you could say about Community now. So I mean, like it's
well,
still
it's all
exciting
broadcast
to get
television now. The numbers.
Third season, yeah.
The numbers are such that they're bragging about your iTunes downloads at the upfront.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I was with Joel when he got one of the pickups. Dan Harmon
probably just recently
sent out the announcement, which would have been May.
Yeah, just recently for our season 3 pickup. Yeah,
Right.
Because our season 2 pickup, we were all on set. We got it early enough to kind of still be there, and Dan Harmon, our creator, recorded him telling all of us because he called us into the makeup trailer and kind of did the classic fake out where he kind of was like, "Oh, you guys, I just have news, and it's been really
Did he
so
do the
great."
classic fake out?
He totally did. You can.
Really?
I've seen it,
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think Yvette looks like she's going to cry, and I'm just sort of like waiting. And other people are like, we know this is bullshit.
You're an ass.
Yeah, and then we all celebrate. It was, it was very
Huge,
sweet.
huge,
Yeah,
absolutely
it was
huge.
really exciting. But and this year it was different because we got it later, so
Yeah.
we were not together. It had to be a string of emails that ended up happening,
Right.
and texts and all that.
So the sense of being on a network show, you're picked up a second season. Must be a sense as you travel around and walk among the civilians of America that you're part of something bigger and larger. Must have been than from Mad Men. It has to have been.
I mean, what do you mean?
It's the sheer
Bigger,
numbers of
larger?
people who are aware of it.
No, I
No?
don't think so. I mean, maybe more now, but no, I think because Mad Men was already farther along and with awards and clothing lines and the brand of Mad Men had grown such. I think Mad Men really kind of exploded its third season
Right.
in terms of like them screening it in Times Square,
yeah.
and things like that.
And what an episode to screen on the Jumbotron, by the way. I don't know if you remember which episode that was, but holy crap, really? Because I think we were in New York at the time, and it was he was a copywriter, artistic director guy who Sal.
Brian Batt?
Oh, Brian Batt.
Brian Beth, hands down the pants. The bellman with the hands down the pants. It was that episode.
It was wasn't it a premiere? It
That was the season premiere on the
of season
Jumbotron
4.
in Times Square.
Season 3.
Oh, I was. Oh,
Limit
season
your
3. I was in
exposure.
it.
London Fog, limit your exposure.
London Fog.
Fog.
That was
Wow.
that was what he says to him on the plane
Those are good.
to keep it on the down low.
Yes.
He says one thing, and you're like, you guys, I don't care. No, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. No,
It was the specificity.
What, Jamie? What are you looking up?
this is the wallpaper on my computer,
Oh.
and I get
Or
nothing. No
giraffes
credit.
or cats.
No credit for
That's so
anything.
dear to my heart.
She's letting you know what a fan she is.
Okay. I love you more. You win.
That's true fan.
Sam, go fuck yourself.
Yes.
Did not see that coming.
We go to the audience who watch us live week after week, who offer up some questions. And ahead of time on Twitter, I announced, as you saw, that you were going to be here. This one comes to us from @Olamindy. You work with a great group of women on Community. What kind of comedy do you find together that's different than with the guys?
I think a lot of the physical comedy, I would say. The women, we talk about this a lot when people ask us, how much improv we do on the show. And I'm always like, well, it's mixed because the scripts are incredible and the
Yeah.
writers are great, and they're always on set too to kind of come in and tweak lines if they need to, which doesn't happen that much.
Right. What's nice about the single camera is that they don't start second guessing themselves as they do in front of a live audience.
Right. And they may have other jokes. They'll definitely give the guys, Donald and Joel, a chance sometimes to buttons of scenes or lines that they'll kind of be like, do the scripted one again and then have fun with it. But the women we don't really do that as often, as much as kind of like make up our own little physical kind of female bonding moments, I guess, which have made it in the show and are some great moments, I have to say. Like, I don't know. I did but there was one, the first season we did this thing and I was like, oh, that train has left the station, and then I kind of like did this whole like chugging choo-choo train bit that went on really long, and our director was like, I hope you're kidding, and I was like, I am, but why don't we just get one? And that's the one they ended up using.
Wow.
This whole weird like choo-choo dance, which it's kind of nice that they're open to that sort of thing.
That's got to be on YouTube somewhere. The choo-choo dance.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah. Well, that's great that the female camaraderie is such that it's physical comedy, and you guys have your own.
Yeah, and also I think we stick to the script, and we'll add our little asides, maybe little asides.
Right.
Especially, I mean, Yvette and I are kind of on the same side of the table, so we'll do our characters make similarly high-pitched noises, so we can kind of add our own little oohs and ahs.
Right, which is silly and fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dances.
Another thing we do on the show that you may have saw in that tweet of my asking for the audience to chime in. It was the T5. What this is a rapid fire 5 questions, Coke or Pepsi, no correct answer.
Oh, all right.
But they're specifically written for you by your fans.
Oh, wow.
This and then
Have
we
to choose one or the other.
Yeah.
All right.
Rarely you'll find a Sophie's Choice, but more of a rather, like I said, Coke or Pepsi. We have a graphic what the folks at home can enjoy. Those of you listening from around the world, not so much. Other than the sing-songy voice of the very one, the David Keckner, it is time for a Tweet 5. Right on it. Boy, they're right on it.
I think they ran it, but we didn't have any video or sound in the room.
My mistake. It's so nice working in a vacuum. All right. Thank you, Dave Keckner. This Tweet 5 comes to you from @CharlesDeluxe. Oh, yeah, he's on the Twitter.
Oh, Charles Deluxe.
Indeed.
Do it.
And the first one is, fruit or veggie?
Fruit.
Down with it or up for it?
Down with it.
Fission or fusion?
Fission.
Smooth as silk or rough and ready?
Smooth as silk.
Don Draper or Don Knotts?
Don Draper.
Well, 5 for 5 again.
5 for 5?
5 for 5 again.
She crushes these games.
Hey.
That's
I'm the big
hardly
winner.
even fair.
Still have this 20 in my bra. Just checking on it. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's doing good.
Okay, now,
Relaxed.
Ken Jeong.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Now, did you have conversations with him early on? I think it seems like the first thing, it's quite pedestrian of me to bring this up.
About
the
his
first,
penis.
Well, no. No.
Oh, was that not where you were?
No. But I love that's where we went.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was trying to take some of the burden off of you having
Thank
to say
you.
that. I'll just get right in there about his penis.
You're so sweet. I went ahead and made the assumption that a prosthetic was used for the film.
No.
Nope.
No.
Are we talking about the first film, the second film, or the same film?
Oh, I'm talking about the first film.
I was talking about the second film.
Yeah, I need to clear that one up.
Yeah. Have you heard about the second one?
I've seen it.
Oh, then you know what I'm talking about.
And
now.
yes, I do.
Yeah,
Now
see, we gotta
I'm
go.
embarrassed.
We gotta go with prosthetic on that one.
Yeah, I hope so.
No, the fact that he was a doctor.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Totally a
I mean,
doctor.
everyone knows this. And
Legit.
what kind of a doctor was he? And did you find this curious when you first worked with him?
It was fantastic. Yeah, I think everybody does. It's just it's an amazing story to hear him talk about being a doctor who's moonlighting as a comedian at night. Like, I was more intrigued by, did you pitch jokes to patients? Like, how did you keep them separate? And he's just it's not that weird. I was working as a doctor, but I like to do comedy, so that's what I would go and do at night. And then he got the job in Knocked Up playing a doctor because they wanted people that were actual doctors. I guess,
Oh, right.
and comedians that
Right.
maybe, I don't know, maybe I'm making
No,
some
you're
up.
No, you're absolutely right.
Judd specifically sought him
Wanted
out
someone
because
that
he knew he was a doctor.
could be a doctor, and Ken is such a sweetheart too. He's so funny. He'll do anything, and he, oh no, I'm all right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Denied.
Please, Kevin.
Don't be an asshole.
I've clearly got plenty of water in my mug.
I'll say.
Delicious. What was I saying about
So
Ken?
you found it intriguing that he was a doctor
Yeah,
first.
and also helpful because
On the set.
we had some instances on set.
Have you not with all the paintballing?
We elicit medical advice from him. Yes.
Somebody took a paintball in the eye and went right to Doctor.
No. Well, no. There have been other instances. Well, I kind of poisoned Donald the first season.
You know, I'd heard about this and I felt like maybe it's something I shouldn't. What?
I was like, oh my God, had you heard about it? I thought we kept it neatly under wraps.
Until now.
Yeah. No, I was trying to be super helpful, and catering had put second meal out, some food out. I was like, Donald, let me get you some food, because you have to stay on set. I have a little break. I'll bring you something. And he was like, yeah, just get me, a little bit of everything, but no shellfish. I'm really allergic to it.
So you went right to it.
I got him only things that had shellfish. It was like some glitch in my brain, and they were clearly labeled. Everything was clearly labeled, and brought it back. He ate the whole plate before realizing it was not like shrimp scampi. It was like noodle dishes with sauce.
Well, yeah, I see.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it was hidden.
yeah,
you didn't
and
give
my
him-
mind was malfunctioning. I think I just hated Donald and wanted him to die.
Interesting that you failed so miserably.
No,
Kelly.
I was so embarrassed. I cried, and we had to call a medic. But also Ken was there to kind of be like, "You're gonna be okay."
Your face is getting puffy, but that's just a sign of
Yeah,
healing.
You just need like a cortisone shot or something. And other instances, we've had sprained ankles and things like that, and other just things where he's straightened people out. He's assessed, given a nice assessment. It makes us all feel comfortable. I
So
think.
there's never any
Confident.
attitude. I'm a doctor now. I'm an actor now. I'm a television star. Can you
I don't
please
give
stop
medical
asking me
advice.
fucking medical questions?
No, he's the sweetest guy.
Please tell me about a 5-year engagement.
Yes.
The director of Get Me to the Greek and Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Also the writer, I think, Nicholas Stoller.
Yeah, Nick Stoller. It's actually Get Him to the Greek.
Yeah, sure it is.
You don't want to get yourself to the Greek.
Get me to the Greek?
Just go.
It makes
go
no
on your
sense at
own.
all.
Yeah. So,
In fact, I started writing a script called Get Me to the Greek, and that must have been what I was thinking about. I thought I would
Oh.
submit a sequel starring me.
Oh, perfect.
And see if the studio would go for it.
it's good.
Can't believe I made that mistake.
No, they want David Paymer instead.
And they want Paymer. As
Oh.
it turns out, we love your script, Kevin, but we want Paymer.
Hey, if he's not available, I am. It would not be the first time I've taken work from Paymer.
Yes, nice. So, what is 5-year engagement, and when does it come out?
5-year engagement. It comes out next spring. Shoot, I just got the date, April something.
Okay, that's good.
It's a comedy. Nick Stoller co-wrote it with Jason Segel. It stars Jason Segel and Emily Blunt. And they're a couple that get engaged, and then it kind of, follows them over 5 years on their journey towards marriage. And I play Emily's sister. And
You got to be funny.
get to be funny,
Nice.
get to do a lot of improv with those guys, funny guys.
Jason Segel likes to improv a lot with his scripts.
He does. Oh, all of them. The script is, you do the scripted work, and then you just kind of
Get silly.
get silly. But it's not, what I love about them is it's not just about being silly. It's still about what's going on in the scene. It almost seems like the improv is more about making it just even more conversational and not feeling scripted and having it just feel the way a
Right.
scene would go, and also be funny because they're all incredibly funny. Chris Pratt from Parks and Recreation
Oh, great.
plays
Good.
my love interest in the film, and he's just phenomenally funny, like a savant, crazy with comedy.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
that was awesome, and super nice guy. So that was really fun.
April 27th.
Oh, April
I'm being
27th.
told.
Yeah,
5-year
yeah.
engagement comes out April 27th. Look for it
Yeah.
then, a year from now.
Yeah, I'm glad you saw that because I wrote it down and slid it to you because I knew.
Now, the people listening from around the world are going to think that, in fact, happened when my crack staff outside the studio actually forwarded it onto the monitor.
That's true.
And you stole that from them.
they
How
also-
dare
I
you?
don't have my calendar in front of me.
But they worked on Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Forgetting Me, Sarah Marshall. So that must have been cool to work with guys who'd had a history together, and you're invited to join the camp. And
Yeah, absolutely. And I love Forgetting Sarah Marshall. It's one of my favorite comedies to watch again and again. I I'm one of those people watches things again. Will watch movies again and again and again and again. Like when there's a song you like and you listen to it again and again. So that's one of those movies for me. I could,
Right.
recite the lines. Love it.
Speaking of actors and their penises on screen,
Yeah.
forgetting Sarah
That's-
Marshall.
That's what I mean, really. Just that scene.
Not a prosthetic.
Frontal male nudity
Yes.
is the new
Balls?
boob shot.
Yeah.
Is the new
I've been
boobs?
saying this for years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Balls are the new boobs, I think, is how you put
Balls
it.
are the
Jamie.
new boobs.
I like that.
For sure.
It's a prerequisite for.
You look at 80s
what I work
comedies,
Boobs.
they were defined by how many boobs were in them.
Yeah.
I'm going to go
Boobs
to.
and bush.
I'm going to go
Boobs
to
and bush.
Boobs and
Yeah.
Bush. Trading Places.
Yes.
You're Jamie Lee Curtis.
Got some boobs.
Flash and Dee Dee.
We gotta bring that bush back, I think.
Bring back the bush. All right.
I would understand why the women would want to do that. Why the women might want to.
Show some bush.
No, just.
Oh, not bring it back. Not bring it back.
No, bring it back.
Oh, right. Yeah, obviously. Oh, good.
Yeah, a little chip.
We're all on the same page here.
little chip hat.
Get a nice merkin.
I'm wearing two now.
Oh, that explains so much.
Save the Date is something you're working on right now.
Yes, I'm working on Save the Date with Lizzie Kaplan, Martin Starr, Jeffrey Arend, and Mark Webber, which is really fun. Mike Mohan's directing, and Jordan Horowitz is producing, who produced The Kids Are All Right. And it's a cool, it's a little indie. It's, I guess it's comedic. It's about two sisters and kind of their love lives. It's another kind of wedding-centric movie. In this movie, my character is getting married, so now I'm on the flip side.
Now, when you say I guess it's comedic, you mean there's some pathos here.
Well, it feels, because it's one of those more independent films. It's not a broad comedy. It's really more about
Nuanced
interpersonal relationships and kind of what's going on with these characters. And there are moments where I'm sure it will be funny because we're all funny people. But, and the script is funny, but it also has a lot of heart to it and some very truthful moments. I think it's going to be something special.
You must be enjoying the hell out of the transition to doing motion pictures.
Yeah.
From coming from all this television work.
Yeah, I really am. And again, just been so lucky that timing has worked out because we don't get a long break. Community shoots about 9 months of the year, 8 or 9. So it's a kind of a small window to fit in some features. And I've been lucky enough to do a couple.
So the Mad Men delay might have worked out for you.
Yeah, it actually totally did.
Don't tell the Mad Men fans who weren't terribly pleased by the delay.
Well, it wasn't my fault.
No. No, and we're glad it worked out for someone.
Well, that seemed hostile. It didn't seem like they were glad, so...
A good spot to end the interview. I think, truthfully, if I'm going to start to get hostile with you, that's usually a time.
Let's wrap it up. I'm a little uncomfortable.
Permission to treat the guest as hostile.
Let's see, what do we have left? Making Maxim's Hot 100 list more enjoyable for you or your boyfriend of the time?
Me.
Okay. Yeah, because as a guy, I'm thinking, I don't know if that's actually something I want to happen.
Yeah.
Honey, you're in all the guys.
You're lucky I'm unattractive, so you don't have to worry about
What?
this.
This is just crazy talk now.
Isn't she adorable?
Now you're talking gibberish.
Oh, I have no self-esteem whatsoever. That's why I look like this all the time.
You mean
I'm
stunningly
like-
gorgeous?
No. Oh, you.
Now that's the moment to go out on. Honest to goodness, we're huge fans and thrilled that you could make some time, especially with the schedule as it is now.
I'm so glad that
Yeah.
I got to come in.
Nice. And that you
And win that $20. I really
utterly
needed
stomped
it.
me, let's be clear, at who tweeted.
It made me feel really good about myself, you guys.
Yeah, well, you know what? We're going to find out if it made you feel good or not.
No, not that good.
Because now it's time for the
taking a
Larry
horrible
King
turn.
game.
What if we just skip the Larry King game?
Exactly.
I think
Yeah, you've
we're
done
on such
so
a
well.
high.
You've done so well. Let me remind you, if I may, how it works. These are the 3 rules. Bad Larry King impression. So
Okay.
all the pressure's off.
Easy enough.
I don't want a good one.
Yeah,
If yours
alright.
is good, I'm going to be angry. Bad Larry King impression.
Okay.
And then it's Larry revealing something that none of us need to know, Larry.
Okay.
Larry, don't have a too much information moment. Why? That's what it is. It's
Okay.
Larry's too much information moment about anything. Not about you, just about Larry.
All right.
And then go to the phone if the name of the city is funny sounding. When you go to the phone, that doesn't hurt. That's it.
All right.
That's all I'm looking for. There's your camera. That's good. That's a good way to start. It is. It is. You don't want to just jump into it.
No, I
'Cause
gotta.
then, yeah, we don't want to think you're taking it seriously.
Oh, I can't take it seriously.
Please don't.
Oh well.
All great. All great.
All good.
There you go. One of these?
Oh.
Yeah.
So
Just do it.
back when I was a young man, my early 50s, when they were signing the Declaration of Independence, I had eaten a bit too much broccoli that day. So John Hancock leans over and he says to me, "Giraffe, crabs, dinosaur, what? To you and Mortonville."
Wow. Larry's gas turned John Hancock temporarily insane.
That was across of my Chevy Chase impression as well. I put in a bit of Chevy Chase. Is that okay?
Use what you know. Use what you know. That was fantastic.
I'm out.
Thank you. Thank you so much, honestly. That was perfection. All right, those of you, sit there uncomfortably while I wrap things up if you
Great.
don't mind, and then we'll be allowed to urinate once again.
Oh, good.
It's only been an hour 47. I want to thank my guest, Alison Brie, for sharing in certain ways that some of us will never forget. All for good. Sammy, I believe you finally established yourself as a unique individual on the show, and that's much appreciated.
Gosh, I hope so.
Right?
Who said that?
Exactly. Well, that's the good part. No one remembers. The person who wrote that question actually is what we don't remember.
Jesus of Nazareth.
Yeah.
It's the only thing I remember from that bit.
Is there a... No, there's no crew gag because we
Can't
have...
imagine.
No,
We're
there can't
short-handed
be.
today.
Can't be short-handed, and also Carmageddon, pre-tape, TriCaster might break down. There's a number of reasons. Have a great weekend, those of you who are tuning in. I hope your Carmageddon is fine, and for the rest of the country, laugh at Los Angeles, who are suffering miserably with this Carmageddon. It's earned it. Join us next week with Michael McKean, and then the wonderful... Is Landis right after that? He is
Sure
right
is.
after that, July 31st. Very excited about that. Check the calendar for more. Again, we're extremely thrilled for our friends Jason and Shauna, the Antunes, for the welcoming of Holden Antune, born this day. So that's it for this week. Tune in next time, if you dare. And don't forget to write to us at contact@kevinpollockschatshow.com. I think that got all the thanks out of the way. Oh, thank goodness. All right. I hate to forget. Until next time, and as always... Get out of my face.